What's up, everybody? Welcome to Nickson and Nate.
It's good to be back for another week.
Yeah, I think we're getting spiritual today, straight into it.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, all good. There was just so much I wanted to bring up.
Oh, no. You start with what you want to start with. I know how we're going to get back to spirituality.
Okay, my thing is that I just love that this is a common theme now, but man, your memes are out of control. Okay, you need to say sorry to the Warriors fans.
Why do I need to say sorry?
I don't know how you find your memes on your Insta. I'm like, this guy.
I create them. So,
It's getting so intense that my wife will be like, have you seen Nate's latest post?
I react off Warriors games, win or loss.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But that's the best thing about being a sports fan is the highs and lows of supporting your team, good or bad.
True.
Top 8, bottom 8, doesn't matter.
The way he said bottom 8, though.
Especially when you hear it day in, day out preseason. Oh, guys, we're only 2 wins away from the grand final. Oh, guys, we just need a couple more players and we're in the mix.
And Nate's just sitting there going, you say whatever you want to say because I've got download save memory.
Oh, man, I took screenshots for days about people's predictions of the Warriors this year.
When are you going to release those? Exclusive.
I'm waiting till people go quiet and then I'm going to come knock on your door and go, hey.
It was a quiet day on the show today.
Yeah.
Quiet day for the Warriors fans.
Who are Warriors fans on the show?
Oh, you still got Mount Smart Joker. I'm talking about like the listenership.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I don't think there are. Oh, yeah. Only our producer T Money is a Warriors fan, and then Tegan just floats around. So
depending on
wins or losses. Yeah. We had a massive reflection back on the last episode with Fame. Some eye-opening moments in that. Even like for someone who works next to that dude every single day. So proud of his growth and I don't know, just being able to understand the guy a little bit better.
How come it took this long, almost a decade, for him to open up?
I don't know. You know what my friend's been trying to do with this guy in 8 years? You know, I felt like we peeled back more layers in one podcast episode, but we finally got there, and I'm glad that, and I don't know if you will publicly say it, but I really feel like he appreciated the feedback that people were giving on the social media pages.
Is it the working conditions at Mai? Is it a culture of fear that's going on there?
Nah. If there's fear, it's because, maybe I've returned, but other than that, I just think he's never really been in an opportunity where he could open up. So,
what was your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway? I'm jealous and confused on how content Fame can be. Like, it was like a real eye-opener. I think we celebrated the fact that, what he wanted 10 years ago and what he's got now, this is all he wanted, so let him celebrate for a second. And then I just sat there going, at my old age, I might have had to take a lesson from that book because as much as I think I'm content, I don't think I'm content. I really don't.
What do you think it is about you and like in what way are you not content? Like career-wise, material-wise? Or?
I don't know. I don't want this to be like too down, and too in our feels again, because you know how uncomfortable that gets. But no, I was just thinking about it before. You always just think that, life is good. Appreciate this moment right now. But for some reason, there's this little devil in my head going, yeah, but what happens if you do this? Or what happens if you do that? Or you need this in your life. You need that. And so like every morning, I don't know if you remember this, and because I don't really talk about it much, but every morning I have this routine. Like I've got some crazy like patterns that I have to do every single day. And if I don't do one of them or it's not in the right order, it throws me.
Yeah.
So one of the first things I do when I get to work is I open Trade Me and I look at houses. That's every morning at like 5 to 5, I'll look at Trade Me and I'll just look at like all these houses and go, oh yeah, okay, we can look at that. And then I'll send links to my wife. My wife will be like, relax. Just be grateful for the house we have now.
Yeah.
And but like that's one of the things I'm always just looking at. Oh, how can I better myself? But then when people tell me to relax and chill out, I'm like, hey, you're killing my buzz. You're killing my ambition.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why am I being told by society to water it down?
Is ambition the same as being discontent?
No, I don't know, but it doesn't it feel like to you it's either one or the other? You're like either ambitious or you're content with life? I really feel like they don't play in the same playground.
Yeah, well, the thing about that is, trust me, take it from someone that knows.
Yeah, but you're the least content. You're like, give me more. Give me more.
You almost feel stifled when you go, okay, this is it. Like, the biggest mistake, or I guess skill that I haven't learned yet, is when to know enough is enough.
Yeah, I think I'm still learning that.
Because even with what we're doing now, I was talking to a few people about this podcast, and they're like, man, congrats. And I was like, why are you congratulating us? I'm like, because you got a cool podcast, you got people listening, it earns.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, actually, that's pretty, that's a success.
Yeah. Even just to have one subscriber, but the subscribers are growing every single day. We should be happy with that.
But I was almost offended because I walked away. I was like, that's not where the plan ends. I've got a few more layers to this thing to go. But I do know what it's like to be ambitious, like completely ambitious, 100% tunnel vision.
I think you're my most ambitious friend. I think that's a true fact.
But there's one lesson I've learned is that there's always a cost. Like, if you do something, there's a cost. If you don't do something, there's a cost. The trick is figuring out what the cost is. Like, if you say you're content, like, I'm happy where I'm at, the cost is you'll never, ever know what you could be down the track. If you go down the track and you're willing to pay that cost to be ambitious, you'll never know what it is to be content.
See what I mean? How they don't play in the same playground?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. Either way,
there's a cost.
Yeah.
But, I think coming up in the industry as well, and a lot of the stories that we're going to share are about our journey at MyFM. But like when we got to number one as a show, and we were striving for that, and we did it with like nothing but just content and just having good yarns. I should have felt content at that.
Yeah.
But it was never. I don't feel like I could be content until it's celebrated. And you know how our wins weren't always celebrated?
Yeah.
Especially amongst our peers. It
was weird. It was like we weren't allowed to celebrate it because we had to make space for other people's feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was such a letdown because I would sit there and go, what about us?
And we're not that rogue that we would go and rub it in people's faces, like, in your face, we're better than you. It was just a chance where we could like actually sit there and celebrate. There were moments, but I just feel like, I think it was the first time, like when we outrated Mike Hosking. Like he had a lot of people listening. We had more people listening, but his listeners just listened for longer. But we had, head count, more people listening to us every morning. And I was like, man, that's an achievement, and I like, there's been moments where I've gone, man, I wish that could have been celebrated, not for ego, but maybe just to put some of those feelings to rest, because there was a lot of people that helped us get there.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Because you understand, I think this is a good chance for us to kind of explain to people what radio is. Radio isn't
Careful, because I'm still on the payroll.
You're on the payroll, I'm not. Anyone can come for me, I don't give a fuck. The ads are the most important piece of a radio station.
That's how we all get paid.
It's how everyone gets paid. So when you're going, I don't like that song, it's played 15 times a day, you're not the target because you're already there. You're listening. Even though you hate it and you say, I hate 15. Mate, you're listening 15 songs in. Where are you going to go? Even social media, there is so much noise right now.
Oh, man.
Because everyone is trying to sell you something.
Or really play with your emotions.
Yeah.
I mean, I broke our rule on social media.
What was that?
You know how we don't ever read comments?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the rule is if this is the first time you're listening, Nate and I had this rule. If you can't take the bad, don't take the good, don't read anything, right? So I've lived by that. Especially when old mate over here went to jail. So I was like, I can't deal. But, man, it's a toxic and noisy place. TikTok is the new Twitter.
Oh.
It is so noisy. If you're not being sold something, man, people are just on a negative buzz.
All it is oxygen. Don't give it oxygen and it won't breathe. It won't grow. I don't go on there because I just... You have to imagine who's typing the comments on these things. And when you read them, you don't know what image to make up in your head. The image I've got in my head of people who constantly live in comment sections are crackheads because they're the only ones that have time.
Everyone else too busy, man.
Or like ugly people, or people with like no lives who are on Tinder every day and can't seem to connect with anyone because there's so much anger. There's so much sadness. Like when someone thinks they're being funny by being a troll, I look at it and go, oh, galofai. Because you know when you're busy, when you're moving, you got motion in your play, you got no time for that.
Nah.
You got no time for that.
I think it's interesting too because when we came through, when we first both started our radio career, like there wasn't any noise.
No.
There was none of that. So I feel sorry for people that are coming into this world now where social media is everything. If you don't have social media, you're an outcast.
Yeah.
It's a really, like, that would make you less content with life because you're keeping up with the Joneses of what you see. You always got a defense up because of what you hear or what people are directing your way. Yeah. Social media is a messy place, man.
You know,
we won't stop posting though.
It's a necessary evil.
Exactly.
It's evil, but it's necessary for us because what else can we do? You know, we've got to play the game. And we're talking to you like this because we respect you enough to have this discussion.
Yeah.
Like, there's no bullshit here. You know, we'll be honest. A lot of the industry, when they heard that we were charging $7 a month, said, who the fuck are these guys?
The audacity.
My thing is, look, if you want to come, cool, come. We're charging this because, you know, we got people we need to pay to help do this thing. And I want you to feel the same way about whatever it is you do for a job, whatever it is that you do for a skill set, whatever it is that you're trying to promote for like your family. If you got things that you're trying to get out there, stop doing shit for free. Stop it.
Real friends pay.
Real friends pay. And you're our friend.
No, not the smoke and mirrors again.
No, I'm kidding. But like, we got to stop doing this thing of like expecting things for free.
No, also, and I feel like, and we can only really speak, well, I can only really speak on behalf of myself, but I feel like Nate would know the same. But it's just like, this is a chance where, you know, let's say brown voices or voices of color, like get a chance to be acknowledged or not expected to do things for free, you know, and actually be paid for, you know, a craft that we have that we want to take to the next level. I probably worded that wrong, but you know what I mean? It's like, just because like, you know, we're Samoa, it doesn't mean that this has to be free.
So I've got a bad reputation within the industry.
Yeah.
Where, you know, the trick is if you see someone that's doing well that's Māori Pacifica, a lot of corporates would go tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, this is great, you know, to have a Māori Pacifica MC on this. And, you know, it's great exposure. So my automatic reaction to that is, shut the fuck up. Also, I know how much money you got. So what's your budget?
Pay up.
Straight away, they'll turn to somebody else. Somebody else will like fall for the hook and do it for free. But if we all just like stop doing that shit, we raise everyone's expectation level of what they should get paid.
And value.
Yeah.
Yeah, and value. Yeah. Going back on this content thing, I'm really struggling with this, eh? It's been playing on my mind since that Fame podcast. Help me through this. Help me through this.
You're asking the wrong guy.
No, but you've seen contentment and you've seen ambition. How do you see?
Okay. I'll take you on a journey here. Okay. So
yeah,
we were ambitious with the My Morning Crew when it first launched. We were competitive. And there's no better feeling than being the underdog. It's easy to be the underdog.
Yeah, because there's no spotlight on you.
No one's coming for you. And so for me, it was a fun time. We had no resources, but we still managed to climb our way to the top.
Yeah.
The hard part for me was you imagine all these things that come your way when you finally get to number one. You imagine all the adoration, or the acknowledgement, or the money, I guess, doors opening for you in the industry. So you imagine all these things. You're like, man, okay, cool. We just need to get there and then the doors will open up.
Yeah.
That was a fucking letdown. It was so stink when we got to number one. It was like another day.
Yeah.
You get a pat on the back and they go, cool, man, well done. Stay at it.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. Or you won't even get that.
Nah.
You'll be just like, nah, it's another day. I don't know if it's an ego thing. Is it an ego thing that we wanted more?
Oh, you and I are very egocentric. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You and I are two of the most least humblest people ever.
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
But I think that's where it comes into it too. And I think that's why I struggle with contentment, because I think I've been brought up to always stay humble. Like, keep my mouth shut unless I'm talked to.
You and I are not very talkative people.
No.
I got called boring once because people were expecting...
You're the least boring person I know.
No, but like in a social situation,
yeah,
I don't really talk. I don't know why that is. I think because you do this for a living.
Yeah.
You kind of... You know when people try and joke around with you?
Yeah.
When you're on the radio, you got to think 10 times faster.
Yeah.
So you know what every angle is coming your way. I'm not saying with the Matrix or Neo or anything like that, but when it comes to certain subjects, when people try and tell a joke, like you already know what the punchline is, or so you're like, oh man, fuck, not this guy again trying to talk to me. Hey, how's it going? You know, you just got to make space for them to have a chat. But there is no enjoyment I get out of
staying quiet, faking.
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't get any enjoyment out of pretending to be humble.
Yeah.
Humble never got me anywhere.
Yeah, true that.
I come from a family where people don't talk. Like, my dad's a mute. My brothers are mutes. One's a crackhead. They don't want to see that guy again. That's a different story for another day.
Is that a legit story?
No, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Trying to find them.
Shucks, that's heavy just to drop into a conversation.
Hey, we all get along here. I'm just telling you guys the truth.
Yeah, fair enough.
So my family don't really know how to communicate. So I had to kind of be times 10 the communicator to get things done. So that stuck with me.
Oh, yeah. I just, like, I think deep down, like, I am humble. Or I try, like, my intentions are humble. But again, like, I feel like being content and being humble sometimes gets in the way of me, like, wanting to be better or strive for more, which is that ambition that kicks in. But then sometimes I feel like I'm either extreme one way or extreme the other way. But I was just thinking to myself, I was like, why do I think like this? And why do sometimes I can't shake it, where I'm like, you know, what's holding me back from going, I can achieve this greatness in maybe a professional realm? You know, like I have this, I don't know, it's like this inner monologue telling me, no, relax your undies.
What else is there to achieve?
I don't know. Like, I want to run for mayor. Like, I want to,
gotcha.
like, what is standing in the way of me becoming a board member or on the CEO of a business?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh, nah, just be grateful. Like, you work 4 hours a day and you get to do a cool podcast with your mate, and then you go home to a beautiful wife and your fur babies. You know, like, I should be just grateful. But I don't know. There's just something that's always like, well, if I see a car driving on the motorway, I'm like, how come I can't get that?
Oh,
you know?
Man, I say have no regrets. You gotta go hard. I think one thing we missed, or maybe you kind of overlooked from Fame's chat.
Did I sound like an asshole?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Because he said, you know, all the things he dreamt about 10 years ago, having a missus, living in a nice home, being able to support his dad. He's got that now and he's happy. He only just got it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He only just arrived at that point. You know, and now that he's on breakfast radio, you know, there's more eyes on him, there's more money coming in. That's the challenge. How do you work with that, with all the new attention, or the new money? Like, how does he figure that out?
Yeah.
He hasn't reached that yet. So that's why he's saying, let him celebrate it, because he just got there.
Yeah.
Whereas you're already like made millions of dollars.
Shut up. No, I haven't.
And looking at $52,000 watches.
No. Yeah, just looking.
But that's all right. That's all right. If that's within your reach, that's all right.
It's not though, and I think that's what's confusing me. It's like I think it's the worst, and I've never really been this kind of guy. Like, I'm not like the keep up with the Joneses kind of guy. But if I see something nice, I'm like, how did that person get there? And it confuses me because I'm like, you know,
this whole chat boils down to one thing.
What?
Is that you worry about what people think?
Nah, I don't. I've just got these inner goals that I'm like, why do I have to? Why is my mind telling me that my goals have to be unachievable? Like, why? Like,
yeah.
Like, why can't
Is it unachievable?
I don't know. Yeah, but I think right now, yeah.
Why?
I don't know, because it's
You know how many ball bags run from here?
No, I'm
Look
just
at that old foreskin. That's it now.
yeah, I know, but I'm just using that one as an example. But there's a lot that comes with decisions that I make as well.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, you know, if I do one thing, something else has to.
Do you have a lot on your plate when it comes to family?
Yes and no. It comes in waves. But you would know what that's like. Any Pacific Islander would know what that's like.
There's just the assumption that because you're Afghasi, that you don't have the same problems as every other islander.
Nah, because my dad's taken a knee, so like Samoan culture basically runs our house.
Yeah.
Or runs mum and dad's house. But no, I think and like I'm an only child now, so I
hear me out. I want you to chat about this because you know the perception is Nickson doesn't have the same, I guess, family. I don't want to call it burdens, but responsibilities that most kids have when it comes to looking after their parents or extended family. Is that true or false?
I know I've it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both because like I have like friends of mine in my type 5 who are very, very immersed in that culture that do a lot more than I do. But I also feel like I also do my fair share of it, or I'm expected to do my fair share of it, but it's non-comparable from like what they've experienced and what I experienced. But there's not a lot of pressure, and obviously like my mum and my grandparents are very, very graceful, but still it becomes very stressful sometimes because I'm always worrying, or I'm always like trying to navigate how I'm supposed to act. Again, like I can't imagine what it'd be like if I was full Samoan. but if this is half of it,
like you know how some people walk around and it's like pay week, and there are some people who have been like, yes, thank you Lord, 2 more days, two more days till payday, 1 more day till payday. And there are some people that don't have to worry about that. Do you worry about finances at all?
Yeah, I do. Just because like I know that I want my family to always be looked after, like always be looked after. Like I never want money to be an issue, because I've seen so many people fall through gaps or arguments happen because of money. So I've always made a promise to myself that mum and dad would never have to worry about money. And that obviously extends so then they can focus on looking after my grandparents and all that sort of stuff. But then for my family, like for Sarah and then baby that we're trying to have this year, I also want that for my child, that they will never, ever, ever see any financial hardship. So I've worked real hard to try and keep that at play and keep that balanced. So then when we do have baby, then we're sweet. But that comes with stresses along the way, because I'm always going, oh, no, nah. And then all of a sudden my brain takes me to a $50,000 watch, and then I'm like, and I know that that's not a good thing to do. And that's why I struggle sometimes, because I'm like, your goal is to make sure that your family is sweet. So stop looking at a $50,000 watch. Stop looking at a $200,000 car. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I feel like...
But also when you get older, it starts to hit different.
I don't know.
You're older than me, so you might know.
The thing is, I have the blessing of knowing what rock bottom looks like. I have been in the pits of hell, man. And I was talking to one of the
Two times in public, too.
2 times. 2 times. There's some guys who go to jail and they're all right because no one knows who the fuck they are. They don't have to deal with, the
backlash of it.
The backlash or the public coming at you or coming at your family. But there's something about having nothing, and like I'm being straight up here. I've had it all. And I've had like nothing. When you have nothing, there's no expectations. People that have maneuvered their way into your life are no longer there, which is good. And it just feels nice. Yeah. But then you get to a point.
Yeah, but does it feel nice? Because then you start to navigate your way through society again going, actually, this is not nice. This is harder.
It's harder because there are expectations that society put on you. Like you're supposed to have a house, or you're supposed to live here. Hey, are you looking after your kids properly? Have they got these things for school? Are you providing for, your daughter's mother? Are you being a good co-parent? So then the stresses come back. But that's like I'm not being a dickhead, but someone goes, which is harder, being in jail or being on home D? And I was like, being on home D all day. Being in jail, it's a spiritual retreat. As long as you're not getting as long as you're with the right people.
Yeah.
But when you have nothing, it's a good chance to kind of refocus your life and set it up properly. You know what I mean? Because the best thing about being on a podcast is that all my skeletons out there.
Yeah.
I fucked up my career. That's gone. We're kind of working on it now with my friend here doing a podcast. Lost everything. Everyone saw that in the paper. That's gone. Fucked up my relationship, trying to be a good co-parent. Was an absent dad the last 5 years because in and out of jail and going through the court. So working on that at the moment. So there's nothing you can come at me with. Yeah. So when people start the funny thing about us doing this podcast is that some people who I thought I was close with, their vibes are different at the moment. And I'm like, please don't go there. And I know Nickson said, don't go here.
It's because it's
don't
all
go
love.
here.
It's all love.
See,
this is my first step of contentment. Just be happy with what you have and be grateful that you are blessed.
That's what I'm saying. I'm content here not to fuck with anyone.
Yeah.
But if you come knocking...
I don't know if there's anybody that will take it upon themselves, instead of trolling on TikTok or Instagram, writing something nice in the Spotify comments about how you do balance. I'd love to hear how people balance out their ambition and contentment. Very interested in that. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on, especially Pacific Islanders.
Would you be able to put a marker down?
Yeah.
That you would reach where you'd go, okay, yep, I'm good now.
No, see, I can't. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't it should be now.
Yeah.
It should be right now. But I'm I want the best for Sarah. I want the best for my kid. I want the best for my life. But I'm I don't know what the best is. Maybe it's right now. And maybe I'm just being an ungrateful idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just real interested. Man, and maybe I don't think it's external pressures from my family, but those crazy stories about when somebody signs for an NRL team, right?
Yeah.
And they just make it in development before they go to first grade, or even if they're first year first grade, right?
Yeah.
And they're not the biggest player in the game. Instead of just being content with a family member making a team and celebrating that moment, it's oh, where's the money? Where's the money? And
it's crazy because you know how they're doing those the NFL or the NBA, they walk through the tunnels wearing their gears.
Yeah.
That's more added pressure for the Super Rugby
right?
and NRL players. It's stop doing that.
Because now they're doing it now, and I'm oh man, that's from Hallenstein.
Or guys taking out loans to get some Louis or some Fendi or some Dior just for that pre-walk during a rugby game because socials are hey, we're gonna do the walk. You guys wearing your best gears?
Yeah. Just so you guys know, I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very blessed. I just I feel this would help other people too.
No, you're just saying that.
No, I am. I'm very blessed, man. I'm very blessed. But it's hey, what else can this body handle before it's time to go to sleep and never wake up?
Okay, I'm gonna put this out there on the line.
Yeah.
I got nothing at the moment.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you before the end of the year, I'll have $3 million.
Please, no more jail time. Please, no more jail time. My heart and my emotions can't deal.
I've got this plan. Okay.
Can we work on other artwork just in case Nate? Just Nickson, the Nickson podcast.
Oh, no trust, man.
What is it? What is your plan? You don't know yet. You just have a.
Nah. I see this thing happening, and the figure I've got in my head is around about 9 mil, and we split it 3 ways. We don't have to talk about who that third person is.
Yeah.
You take 3 mil, I take 3 mil.
Is it okay?
But you got to be all in on it.
Is this a real heavy multi? Betting
Trust
on sports
me.
We don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening and being my soundboard on that.
First, before you go, 3 mil.
3 mil.
Trust me. I've got nothing right now.
Yeah.
Bare back, empty, but I've got a plan. I'm quite confident about it.
Okay. I won't commit, but I'll hear it out.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably have to ask my wife.
The reason I can't tell you yet, I was going to run it through my lawyer first.
Already off to a bad start. Anyway, again, thank you so much for listening. We're going to try and get DJ Severe on in the next couple of episodes.
Yeah, hard.
He's got stories to share. Also, a very deep and emotional guy sometimes. So it'd be pretty cool to peel back some layers from that hard facade.
We'll see you guys.
See ya.